Hello YouTube. I haven't done a vinyl update in a while. Sorry for the shakiness here. And I thought I'd make this update just talking about the Kiss records that I have, because I've added quite a few to the collection. Kiss is the main artist that I collect. I'm not going to bother making an update video for every single album I've gotten since the last one, which was over 2 years ago by this point. But I did want to make a video about my Kiss albums because I've got some unique variations and things like that that I wanted to show you, and maybe some tips. And I am by no means a hardcore, verified Kiss collector. I haven't been doing this for years and years and years like some of these people have. Some of these people have very serious collections. At this point, I'm just trying to make my collection the best I can of albums from the makeup era. That's 1974 until 1982. Well, 1983 if you count the Japanese Lick It Up. So those are really the only years I focus on. I do have some non-makeup era albums, but I'm not nearly as focused on those as the makeup era. So the first thing that I wanted to plug is this book series has helped me out so much when it comes to Kiss collecting. There's 3 volumes of this Kiss My Wax LP Bible. Volume 1 is, I think the debut up through, what's it up through? Probably Paul Stanley's solo album. Yeah, or Gene's solo album, I'm sorry. And then volume 2 is everything else, and volume 3 is this little checklist, so you can check off all of the Kiss albums that you've obtained. And it's very helpful. You can discover some variations that you had no idea existed. It's certainly given me more things to add to the shopping list, for sure. So we'll just go through some of them. My collection is far from complete. There's some albums that I don't have in super presentable condition, or some of the albums don't have any of the inserts. Gene Simmons, for example, I still do not have a copy of Gene's solo album with any of the inserts. So I'm not going to show you the plain Gene Simmons album. My goal for this is to show like mostly special, complete editions and things like that. So here we go. So here is the first Kiss album. Now, this one is special because, let me take it out of the shrink so there's not as much of a glare. This is the original pressing of Kiss's first album. It's not a promo copy or anything, but you can tell because of 2 things. The catalog number is NB9001 instead of 7001 like the subsequent pressings. But the big giveaway, and I don't know how well the camera is going to pick up on this, if you look at side 2, where does it start? There's side 2, and I don't know how well my camera is picking this up. There is no Kissin' Time on side 2. That is the biggest giveaway of an original pressing of this album, is it is not going to have Kissin' Time. And actually, let's take it out here so you can see the label. Now, I'm not going to focus on labels. Labels are another great way you can date your Kiss vinyl. I'm not going to focus on that. There's information out there online. The Kiss My Wax books have a lot of information on labels. But this is what the old school Casablanca label looked like. And if you flip it over to side 2, you can see that it starts with Deuce. There is no Kissin' Time on side 2. So that is your biggest giveaway for an original copy of the first Kiss album. So that for sure is one of my more prized copies, I would say. Now this one, on the other hand, might look the same, but if you look up here, and I don't know how well the camera is going to be able to see this. It says 7001 instead of 9001. And we can take this out And the label looks, you know, pretty close to being the same, although it's not. But we can see on the label we've got Kissin' Time. I might have spoke earlier and said Love Theme from Kiss. If I did, excuse my fried quarantine brain. But Kissin' Time is the one you're going to want to look for. Original copies are not going to have Kissin' Time on there. So we will move to Hotter Than Hell. Now, I'm not going to take this one out of the package. There's nothing special about this one. It didn't come with any inserts or anything like that. But there's Hotter Than Hell. For that reason, I do not have any other copies of Hotter Than Hell, although there are some foreign pressings that I would love to get my hands on. Here's Dressed to Kill. This is not the best copy in the world, but giveaway for this is you want to look at these letters around the side, and they should be embossed into the cover. So that's kind of cool. Again, no inserts or anything like that. It was not until we got to the next album. Don't worry, I'll put all these back in their sleeves if they're out. And that would be Kiss Alive. This jacket is kind of different because it says, I don't know how well you can see that, it says printed in Canada down there on the bottom. So I'm not totally sure what year this is from, but something cool that the original copies of this came with was this booklet, this full color booklet. And it's pretty simple, you know. I think the Alive 2 one's a lot cooler, but this one's in very good shape, and it's a cool piece to have. There's a lot of different variations of Alive with different album covers on the inside jacket and things like that. But I have not come across any of those yet. Now we move on to Destroyer. This is a special copy of Destroyer because it is a Japanese copy. Now usually, and you'll see in a minute with a couple of my other Japanese copies, you're going to have a strip over here that's like some Japanese marketing. It's either OBI or OBI. I don't know which one is correct. I call them OBI strips. And it's like their price tag. They're talking about the record. It's like an additional hype piece on the front jacket. This one does not have that, unfortunately, but it is a very nice copy. You can see the Polystar stamp, made in Japan down there. And even though this is, you know, it's a Destroyer copy, it was pressed later on. You can also tell because the label is different. This is a Filmworks label, which is a good way to indicate a later post-1977 pressing. And it comes with this little booklet. I think every Japanese pressing of a Kiss album comes with one of these lyric booklets. The biggest giveaway to me that this was not an original pressing was this picture right here, because if you know Kiss, you know that this is their Dynasty era costumes. So if this were a complete copy, this would have a yellow OBI strip. An original pressing would have had a red OBI strip. So that's a good way to be able to distinguish some of your Japanese pressings. The later ones are going to have the yellow strip, and the earlier ones are going to have the red strip. Then when you get into the 80s, you get your Crazy Collection and all that stuff, which I don't have any of, so I'm not going to go into it. Now here's a US pressing of Destroyer. And again, Destroyer did not come with any inserts, but the original copies did come with this cardboard inner sleeve. It's got lyrics to Detroit Rock City on the front and a Kiss Army advertisement on the back. And I heard something about the original copies opening one way or the other. This one opens to the side. I couldn't tell you what the right way they open is. But but I strongly believe that this is an original copy. I seem to recall that being supported by the Kiss Bible. And then we have the Destroyer Resurrected. If you notice, the cover art is slightly different. This is actually the original cover art for Destroyer, and this is an exclusive at Walmart. I think these are getting much easier to find than they were when they first came out. I didn't find a copy of this for quite a while after it came out. But it's cool. I think this is kind of a hot topic, you know, the new mixes. There's some alterations on there. Ace Frehley's solo is used on this version of Sweet Pain instead of Dick Wagner's. I kind of prefer the Ace solo, but that's just my opinion. So, in case you didn't see by the sticker, these were pressed on orange vinyl. They sound very good. You know, whether or not you care for the mix, it's a very good sounding pressing. And this copy comes with this little booklet here, which I actually didn't know they came with. It's got a little bit of history in there. I think Bob Ezrin wrote these. And there's your replica rear sleeve on the back there. Then we move on to Rock and Roll Over. I'm going to show you 2 copies of Rock and Roll Over. Now we start getting into the era of Kiss where they're going to be throwing some inserts in there. And the 2 inserts that Rock and Roll Over came with are, number 1, this merchandise order form, which was included on several subsequent Kiss albums to this one. You could buy your Kiss Army paraphernalia there. Look at some of these prices. Kiss on Tour, the old tour book, $3. I wish you could still find them for that price. And they also came with this segmented sticker. You can kind of see on the back where it separates. This one's in pretty good shape, so I'm going to try to mess with it as little as possible. I have another sticker that's a little more worn on the the portions where it separates, so I'm trying to keep this one really nice. But your original copies of Rock and Roll Over will come with the sticker and the order form. I want to say that some of the subsequent pressings also came with the sticker, but I'm not positive if that's the case. So in a way, the order form's kind of the one to look for, but you know, both is going to be better in any circumstance. And then this copy here is the infamous RCA Blue Teardrop pressing. You're going to look for 2 small tears under Paul's right eye there, and that lets you know that it is a Blue Teardrop RCA Record Club pressing. Some people think that that was a printing error, some people don't, but you know, I wanted a copy. I passed one up and I always regretted it, so this one isn't in the nicest shape, but you don't see these too terribly often, so couldn't really pass it up. Another way to tell is if I can find it on the back. There it is. You see this little stamp here that says manufactured by RCA Music Service, and then it's got this little different number here. So that's another way you can tell that it's an RCA pressing. How are we doing on time here? Okay, I'm gonna stop this video after Love Gun. We'll make it a 2 or multi-part video. Here's Love Gun. Don't own a pristine copy of Love Gun with the inserts the way they should be, but I do have this one. Yeah, I'm not pulling the jacket apart. It's already long been separated. The Love Gun came with your Love Gun merch order form. Get your t-shirts and whatnot, and then the piece de resistance is this cardboard Love Gun. Now, again, unfortunately, I do not... Oh, this one hasn't been... Well, I guess there's no way to fasten it together. I don't have an unpunched gun. Usually these come, the bangs are separated, and the gun hasn't been put together or anything like that. But this is what it looks like. Still trying to chase down a gun that has not been put together. It has proven to be quite the chore, and so far I have not been able to do it. But hopefully soon. And then I'll show you one other copy of Love Gun that I have here. This is some beat up looking thing until you crack open. Yeah, this sleeve is destroyed. Jacket. And it is a radio promo copy. Promotional copy, not for sale. So it says that on the label. This one does not have a gold stamp on the back. Some of the albums have a gold stamp that's a, you know, promo copy, whatnot. But it does have this. I thought that was interesting. Play only marked cuts, and it's got Love Gun, Christine 16, Plaster Caster, and I Stole Your Love. Not surprised to see 3 out of the 4 of those. Plaster Caster is a little surprising. I didn't really think that one was super popular on the radio, but hey, what do I know? So, I think we'll end the first video there, and we'll pick it up with a live 2.